Hello and welcome everyone. I'm the Upper Down, aka Tud, and today we're going to be playing some Slay the Spire. Alright, so let's go ahead and hop right in here. We're gonna go ahead and play as the Watcher. Alright, so a couple of different options here. Looks like we could obtain a random rare card, obtain 3 random potions, obtain a random rare relic. We'd lose all our gold for that. Or lose our starting relic and obtain a random boss relic. Let's go for the rare card here, see what it offers. Judgment, not a bad card to have, especially considering the first floor is almost entirely full of monsters with 30 or less health. Alright, so we definitely need to take on the mini-boss here. I'd say we start here in the middle. That gives us access to a shop. Looks like a fire right afterwards. Yep, that is definitely the way we want to go. Alright, we drew Judgment in the first hand. We just need to get him under 30 health. Under or at. Alright. Wreath of Flame. Your next attack deals 5 additional damage. That's a nice one. Gain 6 block. If the last card played this combat was a skill, draw 2 cards. Let's go ahead and get Wreath of Flame here. That'll help us with our damage output early on. World of Goop. You fall into a puddle. It's made of slime goop. Frantically, you claw yourself out over several minutes as you feel the goop starting to burn. You can feel goop in your ears, goop in your nose, goop everywhere. Climbing out, you notice that some of your gold is missing. Looking back to the puddle, you see your missing coins combined with gold from unfortunate adventurers mixed together in the puddle. So you can either trade some health for gold or simply lose the gold. We're heading into a shop. Let's go ahead and get the gold out of this. Feeling the sting of the goop as the prolonged exposure starts to melt away at your skin, you manage to fish out the gold. Let's go ahead and head into the shop here and see what we've got. One relic we have access to. Effects of your cost X cards are increased by 2. Are there any good cards we might want to pick up? Whenever you enter Wrath, draw 2 cards. Apply 8 mark. All enemies lose health equal to their mark at the end of their turn. Deceive Reality for some nice block. Deep Breath. Shuffle your discard into the draw and draw a card. And Sadistic Nature. Whenever you apply a debuff to an enemy, they take 5 damage. I'm going to go ahead and pick up Deceive Reality here. That leaves us with 112 gold. There aren't really any other cards. Maybe Crush Joints for the vulnerable here, but I think that's the only other one I'm going to pick up. I just took notice. Fairy in a bottle here. This will revive us if we die. Go ahead and pick that up. That leaves us with 16, and we will move on to the next one. Alright, a couple of slimes here. We drew Judgment in the first hand. Fantastic. As well as a Defend and a Strike. No damage taken this turn. Go ahead and play Flame Wreath into a Strike to finish it. Gambler's Brew. Discard any number of cards and then draw that many. We have Flying Sleeves. Retain, deal 4 damage twice. And Empty Fist. Deal 9 damage and exit the stance that you're currently in. Let's go ahead and pick up Flying Sleeves here for the retain and additional damage. We can save that for the best fit opportune moment. Alright, let's go ahead here and use Judgment on the enemy in the front. He has higher curl up and higher damage, so let's take him out first. Now, I could pop Eruption here into a Miracle and then pop Strength. At the end of your turn, shuffle an Insight into the draw. Insights are free cards that allow you to draw 2. Conclude, deal 12 damage to all enemies and end your turn. An Empty Fist for 9 damage. Let's go ahead and pick up Conclude here. Just have to be careful to make sure that's the last card you play, otherwise it will prematurely end your turn. Alright, so let's go ahead and pop Vigilance here to enter Calm. And we will wait till next turn to see what we draw. Not a lot as far as good cards go. We'll go ahead and pop Deceive Reality to get safety for later, in case we need it. We also get to keep Flying Sleeves in the hand. See if we draw any good damage cards here. We drew Eruption. This will push us into Wrath, which will cause Calm to give us 2 additional mana, making Eruption free. Go ahead and pop Wreath of Flame. Actually, I'm going to hold off on that. I'm going to first pop Eruption. Then we'll pop a Wreath of Flame into a Flying Sleeve. $49 health left on the mini-boss. We've taken over half of his health. We are, however, stuck in Wrath until we draw another card to put us in Calm. So that is 40 damage coming our way. I would only be able to do potentially 23 damage with Eruption here. That's not going to be enough to take him out, so I am going to have to pop some block. Up to 22. This will hurt a little bit. 18. That puts us down at 43 health. Oh, we did draw Judgments. That is good timing. Just need to get him down below 30, and Judgment will do the rest. Ah, Vajra. Start each combat with 1 strength. We got the Emerald portion of the key. If you are in Calm, draw 3 cards, otherwise enter Calm. We have Tranquility here. It does the same thing, but it has Retain in the name, so you can keep it in the hand for when you need it. And Sash Whip, which has the chance to weaken if the card played just before it is an attack. Let's go ahead and pick up Tranquility here, just so I can control when I enter and exit stages, or phases, I should say. Alright, let's go ahead and pick up the Ruby portion of the key here. Safest bet is going to be going left. There's a second mini-boss up top there. I would rather take the far side here, take my chances with the question marks. Alright, 7 damage to start out here. Let's go ahead and pop Wreath of Flame into a Flying Sleeve. And now we can judge for the win. Nirvana. Whenever you scry, gain 3 block. Empty Body. Gain 7 block, exit your stance. That's the one we want. Let's go ahead and open the chest here. Regal Pillow. Whenever you rest, heal an additional 15 health, or the Sapphire Key. I feel like I have to take the Regal Pillow here. That is going to help us out the most in the long run. 46 health on this enemy. We did not, however, draw Judgment. Alright, let's go ahead and pop Flying Sleeves. Pop a Double Defend. Might as well pop Miracle to get Conclude. Full block here. Enemy is down to 23 health, so if we draw Judgment, and we did, the fight is over. Our gold has been fully restored. Establishment. Whenever a card is retained, reduce its cost by 1 for the remainder of combat. Yes, we definitely want that. That's going to make our cards free in the long run. Let's go ahead and pop into the smithy here. If we upgrade Establishment, it will start out in the hand at the beginning of combat. That is exactly what we want. Alright, so if we go right, we have a question mark followed by 2 enemies. If we go left, we have an enemy, question mark, and then another enemy. So more or less the same either way. We'll go right here. Living Wall. As you come to a dead end and begin to turn around, walls slam down from the ceiling, tapping you. 3 faces materialize from the walls and speak. Forget what you know, and I'll let you go. I require change to see a new space. If you want to pass me, then you must grow. Remove a card, transform a card, or upgrade. As early as we are, upgrading is going to be the best option here. Alright, let's take a look at some of the cards here. We can increase Empty Body to be a 10 block card. We can decrease Tranquility's cost. Not too worried about that. Judgment, increasing its health limit to 40 from 30. Eruption would reduce the cost by 1. Vigilance would increase the block by 4. Increase the damage on Conclude. The damage on Deceive Reality. Block on Deceive Reality. Damage on Wreath of Flame. Let's go ahead and pick Judgment here. We'll increase the threshold there. Satisfied, the walls in front of you merge back into the ceiling, leaving a path forward. Alright, we have 2 enemies here, both of which have low enough health that Judgment will take them down. Let's go ahead and take out the front enemy. Go ahead and pop a Miracle so we can use Eruption on the enemy in the back. Now, next turn we should be able to take him out, so long as we draw 2 strikes. And we did. Wreath of Flame, and 1 strike will be enough. Prostrate, gain 2 mantra and 4 block. Just Lucky, scry 1, gain 2 block and deal 3 damage. Wave of the Hand, whenever you gain block this turn, apply 1 weak to all enemies. Prostrate is nice, however the 2 mantra does not stack each turn, it is a one-time bonus, so I can't make good use of that. Just Lucky is nice, being able to access a little bit of block and a little bit of damage at the same time. However, I'm going to go with Wave of the Hand for the 1 weak application to all enemies when you apply block to yourself. Alright, so we have 2 enemies here. I did not, unfortunately, draw Judgment, so we will have to make do. We could pop Eruption here into a Conclude. That would not be enough to take the enemy out, unfortunately. Let's go ahead and pop a Double Defend, and then we will Miracle a Conclude. That is 1 damage taken. And a Weaken debuff has been applied. Alright, let's go ahead and play Deceive Reality here. We'll pop Tranquility into Empty Body. That will immediately give us 2 mana. And Defend. Now we have a full block. Go ahead and strike at the enemy in the back. Our safety has been reduced to 0 cost due to our power. Okay. So we can go ahead and judge the enemy in the front, take him out entirely. Go ahead and play Wave of the Hand here. Get our defend and our safety for 2 weak on the enemy. Sure, I could have used my 2 strikes there and brought him down to 1 health, but we can easily do that this turn. Wreath of Flame into Flying Sleeves, and that'll do. We got ourselves a Fire Potion for 20 damage. Let's go ahead and get rid of the Gambler's Brew here. Select. Put a Miracle Plus into your hand at the start of your next X turns. We also have Perseverance. Retain. Gain 5 block. When retained, increase its block by 2 this combat. Yeah, let's go ahead and pick up Perseverance here. Because it's a retain card and we have a power that decreases the cost of retain cards, this will eventually be a free card. Go ahead and hop into the smithy once again here. Let's go ahead and see what Perseverance would look like upgraded. 7 block to start and plus 3 for every turn it is retained. Alright, into the first boss we go. 250 health he has. Not much to do other than using up the strikes in the hand. Big damage incoming here. I would survive that if I chose to leave it as is. If I popped Eruption, though, he would probably one-shot me. Go ahead and play Defend simply because we have it. And a double strike. Go ahead and use up the Fire Potion. Alright, we have him down almost 50 health already. And he has us down to 23. We will have to be careful here. Go ahead and play Deceive Reality. That gives us 4 block. We'll push ourselves into Calm. And we have another Defend, might as well play that. Alright, let's Miracle a Flying Sleeve here. Both Perseverance and Safety are now no cost. Alright, we have Empty Body here, which will cause us to exit our stance. Go ahead and pop a Defend as well. Might as well play everything we can. And conclude to finish it. That is the end of that turn. 10 damage incoming here. Just enough block to take care of it. 6 damage once again here. Perseverance is building up steadily. We are at 16 block now, as well as 12 from our Safety. I think we are safe to pop Eruption here. Into a strike. Safety will block the full brunt of the damage. We have another Deceive Reality here. This will take care of the damage from Burn. Go ahead and pop Flying Sleeves into Conclude. We have the boss down to 104 health. He did just buff himself with 2 strength, though. We could go ahead and push ourselves into Calm. Let's go ahead and play Wave of the Hand first, so that way we can start applying Weak to the boss. Then Vigilance, that gives him 1 weak, takes us out of Wrath, so it'll decrease his damage. Then we'll pop our Safety as well, simply to get the additional weak on the boss. And that will do for now. Alright, we could play Empty Body here for the 7 block, exit our stance for the additional mana. Deceive Reality so we can get our Safety. Strike into Flying Sleeves. Full block here with 10 armor to spare. Alright, 24 incoming here. Let's go ahead and play Wave of the Hand. And we will stack the defense here. 3 weak now applied to the boss. 3 burn plus cards have been added to the discard. They will deal 4 damage when drawn. We have drawn Judgment, which will eliminate the enemy if I get his health down to 40. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll be able to do that this turn, though. We have drawn Defend. That's not going to do us much good this turn, though. I could choose to pop Eruption here for the 10 damage and enter Wrath. I think that's actually the better way to go. It does increase the damage he's going to do to me, but hopefully we'll be able to make up for that next turn. We're down to 12 health, 20 damage incoming. Alright, we have access to Vigilance for the 8 block as well as Defend for 5. Vigilance will take us out of Wrath. Not a very good hand, unfortunately. Glad we bought the Fairy in a Bottle potion, because we are going to be using that here directly. $16 damage here. Puts us back at 21 health. And play Deceive Reality. Get some of our damage cards out here. $21 health now left on the boss. That is just enough for Judgment to take him out. Got ourselves a Power Potion and Omniscience. Choose a card in your draw pile, play that chosen card twice. We also have Conjure Blade. Shuffle an Expunger into the draw pile. The Expunger will do 9 damage X times, where X is the amount of mana you spend. And we also have Devotion. At the start of your turn, gain 2 mantra. Now this is a tricky one. I could pick Omniscience here, however it is an expensive card, and it doesn't have Retain in the title, so I won't have an easy way to reduce its cost. Conjure Blade is nice, but spending all your mana in one place is often risky, so I'm going to pick up Devotion here. As a power, it will build 2 mantra every turn. Let's see what we have. Whenever you exit Calm, gain an additional mana. Gain mana at the start of your turn, all enemies start with 1 strength. And gain mana at the start of your turn, but future card rewards have 2 less cards to choose from. I feel like the Lotus is the best option here, because we have 2 cards that generate Calm, so we'll be able to quickly enter and leave Calm for an additional mana. However, having 1 additional mana each turn automatically is also very beneficial. Let's go ahead and grab the Busted Crown here. Card options won't be too important in our playthrough going forward. Alright, let's take a look for any fires we might be able to access here. Alright, seems like the best option is going to be heading up towards the merchant and then cutting to the middle. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to start on the far side here, 2 question marks to contend with. 99 health on the first enemy we encounter here. Looks like he's going to start out trying to do 10 damage here. Go ahead and pop Tranquility to enter Calm. Could pop Wreath of Flame into a strike, but I'd rather hold on to it for now. Let's go ahead and pop our Power Potion, see what we get. At the start of your turn, add a Smite into your hand. Whenever you change stances, gain 4 block. Fasting, gain Strength and Dex. Gain 1 less mana at the start of each turn. Yes, let's go ahead and pick Battle Hymn. And we are going to take 5 damage here, but that is unavoidable. Alright, so we've now got a Smite in the hand, which we will retain. So it will go down to a 0 cost on our second turn. Let's go ahead and pop Deceive Reality here to get the safety. We'll pop Eruption. That'll give us the 2 additional mana. Wave of the Hand. Pop our Defend. I am going to go ahead actually and pop the safety here, just to give him the extra turn of weakness. That'll help us out next turn. Ah, he has not chosen to attack this turn, unfortunately. Okay, so damage-wise, we have 26 from our first smite, 26 from the second. We have him down to 30 health. Let's go ahead and pop... Actually, before we pop Conclude... Actually, no, let's go ahead and do that. That puts him at 4 health. Let's see what we draw. We drew Judgment. He has been judged. Retain. Deals 7 damage. When retained, increase its damage by 4. This is a very nice card for this playset. It starts out costing 2, but we will quickly get that down to 0. Into our first question mark of the second floor, Council of Ghosts. As you continue your ascent, thick black smoke begins to billow out of the ground and walls around you, coalescing into 3 masked forms that start to speak. Another puppet of Niao, I think. Agreed. She always makes the funniest toys. You notice an oversized grin as the third addresses you. Ignore the others. Would you like a taste of our power? Receive 5 apparition, but you lose 36 max health. The apparitions simply give you 1 intangible, which means you will only be able to take 1 damage from any given attack each turn. We are going to pass that up. 36 health would be almost half of our total. We don't want that. How disappointing. You will join us sooner or later. The shapes fade away, leaving only the unnerving laughter ringing in your ears. Alright, into the next combat we go. We have 2 thieves here. One with 46 and one with 51 health. Unfortunately, we don't have enough damage in the hand to take either of them out right away. Let's go ahead and stack some defense here. I am going to go ahead and pop Perseverance, simply to get over the little bit of extra damage from the second enemy. So we took 3 there. Alright, we have drawn Devotion. Go ahead and pop Deceive Reality as well. Gives us our safety to work with. Let's go ahead and pop Vigilance to enter Calm. Puts us at 12. Go ahead and pop the Miracle here. Honestly, not too concerned at the moment with gold. We can always get more. Alright, so we've drawn Tranquility, which will put us into Calm. I can pop Empty Body here for 7 block, which will take us out of our stance, giving us 2 additional mana. And we can go right back in. That puts us at 12. Hit the first enemy here to knock him down to 39. Going to take 16 damage here. Unfortunately, not much I could really do to avoid that. They're both going to block here and then retreat on their next turn. Let's go ahead and pop Eruption here on the enemy in the front. That gives us 2 extra mana and puts us into Wrath. 24 damage we can do from Windmill Strike, 26 on Conclude. Let's go ahead and pop Flying Sleeves. Actually, I have a good feeling I'm going to draw Judgment next turn. Let's hit the enemy in the back as hard as we can. Just because I have it and can play it, we'll go ahead and do that. We have the enemy in the front down to 3 health. He's going to go ahead and pop his armor, puts him at 6 for 9 total. We can take him out altogether. We've regained all of our gold. And another wave of the hand. Sure, we'll take it. Next question mark here. Vampires. Navigating an unlit street, you come across several hooded figures in the midst of some dark ritual. As you approach, they turn to you in eerie unison. The tallest among them bears fanged teeth and extends a long, pale hand towards you. Join us, sister, and feel the warmth of the Spire. So we can remove all strikes from the deck and receive 5 bites. Bites do 7 damage and heal 2 health. We would have to trade 22 max health for that, though. That's not the worst option, but I think we're going to hold off. You'd step back and raise your weapon in defiance. The tall figure's size. Very well. The entire group of hooded figures morph into a thick black fog that flows away from you. You are alone once more. Alright, into the shop we go. Let's see what we have. Whenever you add a power card into the deck, upgrade it. Cards which exhaust when played will instead discard 50% of the time. Both of those are very big for this playthrough. Do we have anything that retains? Yes, we have another windmill strike here. We also have the bomb, which will, after 3 turns, do 40 damage to all enemies. I like the idea of being able to pick up the frozen egg and stack power cards, but I also want to pick up as many retain cards as I can to stack the power cards I currently have. Let's go ahead and pick up the frozen egg. I can pass on 1 retain card for now. Alright, do we want to go right here, or do we want to go left? There's a shop on the right, as well as 2 fires in a chest. There are 3 fires on the left, as well as a chest. Alright, let's go ahead and smith here. We can increase our devotion to be 3 mantra. We can increase wave of the hand to do 2 weak every time we apply block. Conclude to do 16 damage. Tranquility to be free, we don't need to worry about that. Windmill to be an increased amount of immediate damage as well as an increased amount of retained damage. Let's go ahead and grab Devotion here. That cuts down on the number of turns we have to wait before entering Divinity. 2 enemies here. First one with 70 health, second with 23. Let's go ahead and pop Establishment here. And our hand is pretty much full of block. Let's go ahead and apply some of that, get a safety in the hand. Windmill Strike went down to a 1 cost, safety to a 0. We have fully blocked. Empty Body. Unfortunately, we do not currently have a stance activated, so that won't be beneficial to us at the moment. Let's go ahead and pop the Defend here. And safety as well. That gives us almost enough to block the first attack. That's another 10 damage we have to contend with here. Let's go ahead and pop our Empty Body. We are going to go ahead and pop our Windmill Strike on the enemy in the back. Alright, we have the enemy in the back down to 4 health. Looks like we'll be taking 3 damage here, putting us at 45. 12 damage incoming from the enemy in the front. Let's go ahead and pop Devotion to start. Alright, I have drawn Eruption as well as Vigilance. And Flying Sleeves. Now, between those 3 cards, I would be looking at 5 mana. I only have 4 at the most. So I'm going to go ahead and pop Vigilance here to enter Calm. We will pop Flying Wreath of Flame first into a Miracle, and then Flying Sleeves on the enemy in the front. That will reduce his block a little bit, putting him at 64 health. Let's go ahead and pop Perseverance here to put us at 13. That will be a full block now for us. Alright, let's go ahead and pop our Defend. We will double strike into a Conclude. That did apply us with 2 vulnerable, increasing the damage we are going to take here. 24. That puts us down to 21 health remaining. We almost have the enemy down to Judgment range. Let's go ahead and pop Wreath of Flame here. That'll boost our strike. We have him down to 49. Unfortunately, that is not enough, and I have no block of any kind to work with. Let's go ahead and pop our attack potion here. I can do at the most 10 damage here. Oh, make that 11. That puts him at 38. That is just enough for Judgment. Got out of there by the skin of our teeth. Third Eye for 7 block. We will skip that. We found another shop. Retain, enter Calm. That is the only thing we can afford at the moment. We are going to bypass that. And we found ourselves our next chest. Orichalcum. If you end your turn without block, gain 6. Or the sapphire portion of the key. Orichalcum is going to come in big here. Into our next question mark, we have yet another shop. Gain 7 block and scry 3 is the only thing we can afford at the moment. Next question mark here, we have a boss chest. We get the Mango. Raise your max health by 14. Sure. Now the next fire here, we do have to rest. Our health is a bit low. That puts us up to 75 due to the Regal Pillow, giving 15 from resting. Next enemy we have here has 78 health, looking to do 21 damage. Let's go and play Establishment. Alright, we have 4 mana to contend with, nothing to do for Wave of the Hand at this time. Unfortunately, this is going to hurt, and I don't have any good way to counter it. So we will simply end our turn. Down to 60 health. Of course, I draw all my block when I don't need it. Alright, it looks like he's going to do 21 damage to me once again here. Let's go ahead and play a Tranquility to enter Calm, and then we can play Empty Body for the block and extra mana. Our Windmill Strike is up to 12 damage now. Only able to get 13 block out of that. 57 health left on the enemy here. Down to 52 health. Go ahead and pop Deceive Reality. We will enter Calm as well. And pop our safety. That puts us at 18, so 3 damage we'll be taking here. Down to 49. Still too much health on the enemy for a Judgment to go off correctly. Let's go ahead and pop Wreath of Flame. into a flying sleeve. Alright, we have him down low enough now to judge. Ooh, Consecrate. 0 cost, deal 8 damage to all enemies. That is big. Alright, we have 3 enemies here to contend with. We did draw Judgment on our first turn. Unfortunately, their health is too high to make use of. Six damage from all enemies here. Let's go ahead and pop Consecrate. One of the biggest problems I run into in this game is drawing the cards that I don't need when I really need something else. So in this instance, I drew 2 cards that would apply weak to all enemies when block is applied, when what I really needed was some block. Alright, so let's go ahead and play Tranquility here to enter Calm. Devotion as well. We can definitely deal some damage here. Not quite enough to take out the enemy in the front without drinking the potion, though. Alright, we have taken him out, so a little less damage we'll have to worry about here. Only taking 6 at this time. Looks like we'll be resting at the next bonfire as well here. Alright, 12 damage incoming. We are going to go ahead and pop Eruption here. This will push us into Wrath, but hopefully we'll be able to overcome that. Wreath of Flame into Windmill Strike. Go ahead and pop our Miracle to get Perseverance off. Puts us at 17 block, so not as much damage here, only 7. 30 damage incoming. Go ahead and play Deceive Reality to get our safety. Let's go ahead and play Empty Body, that will exit our stance. Actually, let's first play Vigilance for the 8 block, automatically exiting our stance, and then Empty Body for the mana. Now we can Wreath of Flame into a Conclude. $18 damage incoming here. Alright, the best way to counteract this, I think, is going to be Wave the Hand into Defend, Perseverance, and Safety. That gives 3 weak to the enemy here. So for the next 3 turns, I don't have to be as concerned with his attacks. We have entered Divinity, tripling our damage. Gain 5 Mantra. Sure, let's go ahead and pick that up. We will be healing here at the bonfire. Puts us up to 70 health. Into the Tier 2 boss. Alright. Might as well apply one, or remove one artifact, I should say. Alright, 2 minions to contend with in this battle. I have Judgment to take one of them out pretty much right away. Let's go ahead and pop Devotion here. Consecrate into a Windmill Strike, and then we will judge the front enemy. We can pop our Miracle to go into Vigilance. This will give us a little bit of block and put us into Calm. Down to 56 health here. Alright, let's go ahead here and pop Wave of the Hand. We'll get some weak up on the enemies here. wore off most of the artifacts on the boss himself, so we'll be more effective against him in the future. And we also have 3 weak applied on the enemy in the back, so we don't have to worry as much about his attacks. Let's go ahead and pop Eruption here. That is going to cause us to take quite a bit more damage. But we can at least remove the enemy in the back entirely. We have gained Perseverance. There'll be a little bit of block. Big hit incoming. Takes us down to 23 health. Now that we've eliminated both the front and back minions, though, we don't have to worry about them going forward. Deceive Reality for the safety. Empty Body will take us out of our stance. Let's go ahead and pop Flying Sleeves first. Definitely want to play that now. Puts us into Calm. Can pop Empty Body to get 2 extra mana out of it. And 7 block, but I don't necessarily need the block. Yeah, let's go ahead and just play Mantra here. Oh, that pushed us straight into Divinity. Alright. Well, that is unfortunate, because I don't have anything to do at the moment for that. $51 damage incoming here. This will be fatal. We're up to 24. Don't see a way out of this, unfortunately. Alright. Unfortunately, that brings us to the end of this run. Well, let's go ahead and give it another run. Alright, we could start out with transforming a card, obtain 100 gold, trade max health for 250 gold, or get a random boss relic. Let's go ahead and trade the max health for gold. Down to 65 max health now, 349 gold to work with. Alright, so we need to look for the empowered mini-boss here. What is the best route to get to him? Unfortunately, it doesn't look like there is a shop in line with him. I am going to go right over here to the far right side and then cut straight across the middle and then back over to the right. Alright, we have Vigilance here for the block and calm. Let's go ahead and pop that. We have 15 damage incoming here. We are at 13. Well, let's go ahead and pop our Miracle now to get Strike out on the enemy in the front. Two damage taken there. So let's go ahead and take out the enemy in the front. No need to be hasty here with damage. Let's go ahead and just defend for now. 7 damage coming from the enemy in the back here. Let's go ahead and pop 2 defends into a strike. Another slime card put into the deck there. Unfortunately, not a lot in the way of block this time around. Gonna take 5 damage here. This will put us down at 58 health. Pop a double defend into a strike. Enemy is down to 8 health remaining. Full block once again. And now we have enough damage to take him out. Alright, Flying Sleeves. We have Flurry of Blows. Deal 4 damage. Whenever you change stances, return this from the discard pile to your hand. And Perseverance. Retain, gain 5 block. So let's go ahead and grab that. We'll move up to the shop here. Alright, we have access to a couple of things that I definitely want to get. First off, membership card. 50% discount on all products. Alright, so next we want to pick up the Gremlin Horn. When an enemy dies, you will gain 1 mana and draw 1 card. Battle Hymn is definitely an important one to get here, being able to get a smite at the beginning of each turn. Alright, we also have Empty Body for exiting your stance, as well as Flying Sleeve for the retain. Go ahead and pick up both of those, and we will move on to the next room here, into the question mark. As you make your way down a long corridor, you see a banana, a donut, and a box floating about. No. Upon closer inspection, they are tied to strings coming from holes in the ceiling. There is a quiet cackling from above as you approach the objects. What do you do? Let's go ahead and grab the max health here. That puts us at 70. You eat the donut. It really hits the spot. Your max health increases. Alright, then we are going to go ahead and veer to the left here so we can grab the fire, and then we will cut back to the right. Alright, 2 enemies to contend with here. Let's go ahead and pop a strike on the enemy in the front. Flying Sleeves on the one in the back. Hold on to Perseverance here for next turn. We've been applied with 4 weak. Alright, Battle Hymn for the strikes. Let's go ahead and hit with Eruption here. Then we will Miracle a strike. And Empty Body will take us out of our Wrathful stance. Let's go ahead and Smite. We could get another Perseverance here. Let's go ahead and do that. Proceeding left into the question mark. Wing Statue. Among the stone and boulders, you notice an intricate large blue statue resembling a wing. You find gold spilling from its cracks. Maybe there is more inside. Pay 7 health to remove a card from the deck. Unfortunately, we don't have a card that does 10 or more damage, so we can't take the second option, or we can simply leave. There isn't anything at the moment I wish to remove from the deck, so we are simply going to leave here. The statue makes you feel uneasy. You walk past and continue onwards. Alright, into the fire here. Let's go ahead and pick up the ruby portion of the key, so we don't have to think about it anymore going forward. Into the next question mark, we have Shining Light. You find a shimmering mass of light encompassing the center of the room. Its warm glow and enchanting patterns invite you in. Upgrade 2 random cards for 14 health, that is worth it. Defend and Empty Body have both been upgraded. As you walk through the light, you notice that the light is absorbed into you. It's scorching hot. However, the pain quickly recedes. You feel invigorated, as though you received a well-deserved slap. And we have another fire right afterwards. Let's go ahead and upgrade here. We can upgrade Battle Hymn to be an innate card, starting in the hand. Perseverance, we can upgrade as well. Eruption and Vigilance will just decrease in cost. Let's go ahead and upgrade Battle Hymn. That'll give us extra damage to work with each turn. Let's go ahead and proceed to the right here. Whenever you rest at a rest site, start the next combat with 2 mana. That is not a bad relic to have. I'm going to go ahead and take the Sapphire Key and hold out for the next chest. See what we get next time around. I have a feeling I should be okay in the next combat, so I'm going to go ahead and smith once again here. We will roll the dice. Let's go ahead and upgrade one of our Perseverance cards here. Into our next battle here, enemy has 49 health. He's going to start out by applying Ritual to himself. Let's go ahead and stack the damage. Down to 31 health. We have drawn our Smite. We have an upgraded Defend, which will be enough to block the enemy here. Not that I have anything else to play at the moment, though, so let's go ahead and play another block and end turn. That is a full block. He's going to go ahead and gain 3 strength, 9 damage incoming this time around. Let's go ahead and pop our Eruption first, and then Smite will finish him off. 17 gold. Empty Mind. Draw 2 cards and exit your stance. Pressure points for 8 mark. We are simply going to skip for now. Into the next fire we go. Can I beat him with 49 health, or do I need the heal here? If I were to heal, that would increase my health back up to full. Let's go ahead and smith. We will take our chances here. Upgrade our second Perseverance. He's going to start out with 2 strength this time around. Gonna wait him out another turn or two, see what we get. And once again, now we have 4 cards retained in the hand. He will wake up next turn regardless of what we do, so let's go ahead and go out of the first turn here with a bang. We have the enemy down to 61 health. Looking to do 40 damage this time around. We've drawn another Eruption. We also have a Smite and Flying Sleeves in our hand. We have the boss down now to 37. I could pop a double Perseverance here for 23 block. Or I could pop Flying Sleeves for 16 and Strike for 12. That would put us at 28. That would not be enough damage there. So yes, let's go ahead and pop Perseverance into another Perseverance. Going to take 17 here. Alright, and we have enough damage this time around to finish him off. Damaru. At the start of each turn, gain 1 mantra. We have the emerald portion of the key. We now have the full key. Lesson learned. Deal 10 damage if fatal. Upgrade a random card in your deck. Yes, let's go ahead and pick that up now. And we might get a chance to use that here. Alright, let's start out with Battle Hymn. Gonna go ahead and pop a Defend. That will unfortunately not be enough to block the full incoming damage. We have a full block here. Looks like another 13 damage incoming. Let's go ahead and hit the front enemy here with a Smite into a Lesson Learned. That'll upgrade a card in our deck permanently. 9 damage to contend with here. Let's go ahead and play Empty Body. That gives us a full block. The enemy second from the back is going to do a big attack here. Definitely going to be good to take him out quickly if possible. I will end up taking a little bit of damage here. I'm gonna go ahead and pop Perseverance for 7. Gonna take 2 damage. Alright, between Eruption and Smite, I should have enough damage to take out at least one of the 2 enemies. Ah, I can take both out. Fantastic. Essence of Steel for 4 plated armor. Follow-up. Deals 7 damage if the last card played this combat was an attack. Gain 1 mana. Or collect for the Miracle Plus. Let's go ahead and pick Follow-up. Into the next fire, we're going to go ahead and rest. Heading into the boss fight. Usually recommended to have at least half your health, if not a little more. Let's go ahead and pop our Essence of Steel here for the plated armor. We will go ahead and strike, and then follow-up will give us 1 extra mana for a second strike. Gonna save the miracle. $30 damage incoming here. Let's go and pop Flying Sleeves into a Smite. Perseverance, Miracle, Defend. That gives us 16 block to work with. That's a little over half of the damage incoming. Unfortunately, it did wear down some of our plated armor. Alright, let's go ahead and pop our upgraded Defend here. We now have a full block. I could have chosen to pop my Eruption there, but doing so would have caused the damage he would deal to me to increase. I want to try to keep that at a minimum for now. Let's go ahead and fire off a Smite into a follow-up for the extra mana. 10 damage incoming. Let's pop our Defend. 14 armor here, full block. Alright, we did draw a burn, unfortunately. Let's go ahead and pop Perseverance here for 10. Between the burn and the incoming damage, we now have a full block. Alright, no attacks incoming this time around. Let's go ahead and pop Eruption into Flying Sleeve. He has increased his strength by 2, looking to do 28 damage this time around. We will go ahead and pop a Smite and Vigilance to enter Calm. Got his damage down to 14, looks like 5 incoming. We lost our last plated armor though. Alright, so let's go ahead and pop another Smite here. Defend will give us the full block we need. Ah, there was a Seer in my hand, so I will take 2 damage. Alright, well, let's go ahead and use Flying Sleeves here into a follow-up for the extra mana. And we stack some block. 33 block now, that is a full block. Enemy is down to 70 health. And we have entered Divinity. Damage will be tripled, which is just enough for 2 smites to end the battle for us. Liquid Bronze, gain 3 thorns. Master Reality. Whenever a card is created in combat, upgrade it. Blasphemy. Enter Divinity but die next turn. And another lesson learned. Let's go ahead and pick that up. Looking in the chest here, gain mana but no longer be able to smith. Violet Lotus. Whenever you exit Calm, gain an additional mana. Or gain mana but no longer obtain potions. Well, that's an easy one. Let's go ahead and pick up the Lotus. On to the second floor. Alright, so I am taking a look for both shops and fires. Seems like the best route is going to be down the far right side. There are 2 shops and a few fires, as well as a chest. Alright, so let's take our chances with the 2 question marks here. We will have 3 combats, but that's okay. Shouldn't be a problem for us. Let's go ahead and pop our liquid bronze here for the counter damage. Unfortunately, I didn't draw any attacks other than follow-up, so I can't make use of the extra mana gain. We'll go ahead and play our upgraded defend here. There's 10 damage incoming, so this will be 2 damage we will receive. Let's go ahead and play follow-up on the enemy in the front. Thorn's doing good work. Alright, so we have 10 damage from Lesson Learned. We need to reduce their health a little bit. Lesson Learned will be enough to take out the enemy in the front, permanently upgrading our other Lesson Learned. Let's go ahead and pop our Miracle here to get a little defense going. Not quite a full block. $23 health remaining on the enemy. We have just enough damage to take him down. Flying Sleeves into a strike. We have him down. He has 2 health remaining. Ah, we drew our Lesson Learned. Fantastic. Let's go ahead and upgrade. Looks like Strike. Carve Reality. Deal 6 damage and add a smite to your hand. We can also deal 14 damage and exit the stance. Let's go ahead and pick up Carve Reality. Into the first question mark of the current floor, Face Trader. You stop. You walk by an eerie statue holding several masks. Something behind you softly whispers, "Stop." You swerve around to face the statue, which is now facing you. On closer inspection, it's not a statue, but a statuesque, gaunt man. Is he even breathing? Face, let me touch, maybe trade. So we could lose 7 health for 75 gold, or we could take our chances with a good or bad face. Let's roll the dice. Whenever you enter a question mark room, gain 50 gold. For me? For me? Oh yes, yes. You see one of his arms flicker, and your face is in its hand. Your face has been swapped. Nice face, nice face. Into the next question mark room we go. It'll give us 50 gold automatically, and it is a combat. Let's go ahead and start out with Battle Him here. Pop our Defend and Strike. We will take 2 damage here, but worth keeping the Perseverance for a later attack. Let's go ahead and play Vigilance to enter Calm. And we will go ahead and do Flying Sleeve. We get to keep Smite, so save that for later. We've been hit with a Hex that will put curses into our deck when we play skill cards. We are back up to 3 mana. Let's go ahead and pop Carve Reality here. That gives us a Smite. 10 damage incoming. Let's go ahead and pop our Perseverance. And we will pop a Smite as well. Too Vulnerable has been applied, so 14 damage incoming this time around. Let's go ahead and play Empty Body here for the 10 block, exiting our stance and giving us 2 mana. Pop a Defend as well, that'll give us a full block. And let's start smacking him with our smites. I'm going to save the other smite for next turn. $20 health left on the enemy. And we have enough in smites now to take him down. Unfortunately, I did not draw my learning card. Deal 10 damage if the last card played was an attack, apply to weak, or prostrate for 2 mantra and 4 block. Sure, let's go ahead and get that since we have an artifact that plays in well with that. Alright, going to cut back across the right side after this. 12 damage incoming here. Let's go ahead and start out with our Battle Hymn. Alright, I could hit him with Eruption and then immediately Empty Body. However, that wouldn't be to my benefit in the long run, so let's simply go ahead and defend into Empty Body. That gives us a full block. I could Miracle out a strike, but I'm going to save that. Let's go ahead and pop our Dexterity Potion here for 2 Dexterity. That'll increase the amount of block we can generate from cards. Let's go ahead and pop our Defend here. That is 9 damage now. We've reduced them to. Let's go ahead and hit the front enemy with a Smite. And a follow-up to get an extra mana. Defend will now prevent all but 2 damage. Let's go ahead and Miracle the Strike out here to reduce his plated armor. Two damage. We have drawn a Lesson Learned. Unfortunately, we don't have anybody low enough at the moment to use that on. Let's go ahead and Carve Reality the enemy in the back. That puts him at 20. Then we can Smite. And we will go ahead and play Perseverance here for the full block. Enemy in the front is looking to do 12 damage. Enemy in the back also. Let's go ahead and play Prostrate here for the 6 block. And we can go ahead and Lesson Learned the enemy in the back for a card upgrade. That'll leave us with 1 mana. I can play Perseverance to counteract some of the damage from the enemy in the front. Permanently upgraded a Defend. 18 damage incoming here. And we have gained 1 extra mana. Let's go ahead and play Vigilance here for the 10 block and Calm. That puts us at 16. 2 damage incoming. Alright, let's go ahead and start spending some of these smites. Play Perseverance as well. Play Carve Reality to get another smite. Three damage taken there, that puts us at 57. follow up for the extra mana. Prostrate, that puts us into Divinity and gives us 2 extra mana to work with. And we should be able to easily take him out now. Reach Heaven. Deal 15 damage, shuffle a Through Violence into your draw pile. It is a 0 cost that deals 20 damage. Yeah, let's go ahead and pick that up now. Alright, gonna go ahead and cut back to the right so we can access some of these shops. Alright, battle him into a defend. 10 damage coming from the enemy in the back here. I could pop my miracle to get defend out, but I'm gonna save it for next turn. Down to 55 health here. Let's go ahead and pop a follow-up. That puts us back at 3. Empty Body would give us 10 block. Into a double smite. That brings him down to 11. Let's go ahead and pop Miracle here. Ah, it was 1 short. Should have paid closer attention to that. Alright, well, let's go ahead and play Prostrate here. That'll end the battle for us a little faster. $19 damage incoming here. We'll play Prostrate once again. That puts us at 7, giving us 4 block as well. Let's go ahead and smite the enemy in the front. Well, let's go ahead and plop our second Perseverance here, keeping the first one because it has a higher amount of block on it at the moment. Alright, so that is in full block now. We are going to get hit with a debuff though, giving us 2 vulnerable. Alright, let's go ahead and play Vigilance here. Get the 8 block and enter Calm. 14 damage here, looks like 6 will be heading our way. I'm going to go ahead and play it safe with Perseverance. Gives us 1 extra turn of no damage. Alright, let's go ahead and pop off here with some attacks. Spent all our mana, got him down to 47 health. Alright, we have popped Divinity now. Smite into a Lesson Learned. We have permanently upgraded a Defend. Alright, 3 cards to choose from, all 3 of which are upgraded already. 10 damage, apply to weak. 12 damage, gain block, equal to unblocked damage. And deal 10 damage for each enemy in combat. Let's go ahead and pick up Sash Whip here for the weak. Heading to the right here so we can buy some items. Start each combat with an additional mana. Absolutely. Start each combat applying 1 vulnerable to all enemies. Absolutely. Whenever you shuffle your draw pile, scry 3. Don't necessarily need that. You could pick up another Prostrate here for the extra mantra. Put a skill from your draw pile into your hand. Why not? And we will leave it at that. We do have another question mark here for 50 gold, as well as a shop coming up that we can spend that gold at. Let's go ahead and battle him into a Prostrate. Let's go ahead and pop our skill potion here. Alright, we have Empty Body here we could get access to, or Pray for the mantra and insight. I'm going to go with Empty Body for the block. and hold off on everything else for now. Big hit incoming here. Looks like it's going to do 10 damage to us, putting us at 45 health. Alright, let's go ahead and smite here into a follow-up for the mana. Reach Heaven, that puts a Through Violence into the draw pile. Miracle out a Carve Reality for the smite. $21 damage incoming here. Let's go ahead and play Vigilance to enter Calm. Prostrate for the block and mantra. Doesn't look like I'd get a whole lot out of Perseverance, but it is going to be the best amount of block I have access to at the moment. $5 damage, bumping us down to 40 health. Alright, we are almost in Divinity. It looks like 2 more mantra for that. Just taking a look at any skill cards I might have coming up. I do have Empty Body in there. Let's go ahead and play Secret Technique. And now we can pop Empty Body for the block and mana. Alright, let's go ahead here and smite. We'll get some defense going as well. Alright, we have the enemy down to 18 health. Looks like he's going to do 21 damage once again, bringing us down to 36. We have Sash Whip here to apply 2 weak. Our Lesson Learned will do 10 damage. Unfortunately, that is 1 short of what we need. Smite would be 12. That is too much. Let's go ahead and play the upgraded Lesson Learned here. That will upgrade our Prostrate to 3 mantra and 4 block at no charge. Consecrate for 8 damage to everything. Another Perseverance. Or Empty Mind. Let's go ahead and pick up the Consecrate here for the 8 damage to everything. Into the next shop we go. We have access to Dolly's Mirror, which will duplicate a card in the deck. I think I should get another Battle Hymn. It will start out in the hand at the beginning of combat, just as the other does. At the end of your turn, if you are in Calm, gain 5 block. When you draw this card, add 2 miracles to the hand and exhaust. Deal 5 damage to a random enemy 5 times. Another follow-up for more mana. Jack of all trades, add a random colorless card to the hand. Let's go ahead and pick up Like Water. And since we have the money for it, let's go ahead and pick up another follow-up as well. Into the treasure room here. Golden Eye. Whenever you scry 2 additional cards. Into the next fire we go. We need to rest. It puts us up to 57. We have another monster battle here. If we can get through this relatively unharmed, I can go into the next fire and upgrade a card. Go ahead and double battle him. Alright, so let's go ahead and attack the enemy in the back, and on Sash Whip the one in front. Miracle out of defend. So 9 damage we'll be taking here. Still have 1 week left on the enemy in the front. Let's go ahead and consecrate into a follow-up. Pop Vigilance here for the block and calm. Into a defend. That is now a full block. Looks like a heal from the enemy in the back. Front enemy is up to 66. No attacks incoming this time around. Let's go ahead and play Prostrate for the mantra. and start throwing out smites. Do I have any skills I could pull that don't have a charge? Yes, I do have Prostrate in there upgraded. Let's go ahead and pull that. That puts us at 8 mantra now. Another heal from the enemy in the back. Let's go ahead and play Empty Body for the block and mana. Alright, so 46 now on the enemy in the front. Let's hit him with a smite into a follow-up for more mana. Another smite here. We've got him down to 15. And let's go ahead and carve reality for another strike. Smite, I should say. And lesson learned to upgrade a card. We've permanently upgraded a strike. Like Water won't do us much good this turn, but attacking him won't do any good either. So let's go ahead and play Like Water. Alright, we have entered Divinity. So Lesson Learned will do 39 damage. Let's go ahead and hit him with a Smite into a Lesson Learned. We have permanently upgraded Like Water. 7 block now. Another Prostrate. Enter him. Deal 3 damage 3 times. Enter Wrath. Let's go ahead and pick up another Prostrate here. Into the fire we go. Let's go ahead and Smith. We can upgrade Secret Technique to not exhaust at the end of combat, or at the end of the play. Into our next combat here. This enemy will randomize the cost of cards that we draw. Starting off strong, we've done roughly 30 damage to him. Well, we did draw a follow-up, but it's not to our advantage to play that at the moment. Everything pretty much that we could have drawn came out more expensive than it otherwise would have been. I could pull a skill here. I could get access to another Prostrate. That gives us 4 block and 6 mantra. 11 damage we'll take. Everything is coming out more expensive. Let's go ahead and get a defend here for the full block, and we will double smite. We've drawn vigilance. Everything is going our way here. So Lesson Learned will do 10 damage. Let's go ahead and smite into Lesson Learned for a permanent upgrade. We've upgraded another strike to 9 damage. We've got another Consecrate or Collect for the Miracle. Let's go ahead and pick up the Consecrate for AoE damage into our next combat. 12 damage coming from the enemy in the front, 6 from the enemy in the back. Alright, let's go ahead and play a Secret Technique here. What do we want to pull? We definitely need something that will give us block. Let's go ahead and play Vigilance here into a Miracle and Like Water. That'll give us 7 extra block. So we're at 15 now. That is a full block from the enemy in the front and 3 damage from the enemy in the back. Prostrate for the extra block into a Consecrate. Start smiting the enemy in the front here. Gonna go ahead and pop Perseverance as well. Puts us at 18. That's a full block from the enemy in the front, 6 damage from the enemy in the back. $10 damage incoming now. Let's go ahead and play our upgraded Prostrate for 3 extra mana. Alright, let's go ahead and hit the enemy in the back here. Brings him down to 7. Lesson learned. We've now upgraded another Prostrate. Hit the enemy in the front with follow-up for the extra mana. Into a Perseverance. That puts us at 10, plus our Like Water puts us at 17. That is now a full block. One more turn of Vulnerable that we have to worry about. I'm gonna go ahead and double defend. And Smite. That puts us at 19. Down to 20 after taking 8 damage there. Alright, 10 damage incoming. Let's go ahead and hit him with Sash Whip. Into a follow-up. Now that we are in Divinity, it is all over. Got a 2 energy potion. Crescendo. Retain, Enter Wrath. Another Perseverance, and another Carve Reality. Let's go ahead and pick up the next Perseverance, and we do have to rest here. That'll put us at 41 health. Back to the same boss that beat us earlier. Let's see if we stand a better chance this time around. Gonna go ahead and play both our battle hymns and our Prostrate as well to get started on the mantra. We will hold on to the rest of our hand for now. We do have a potion to give us 2 extra mana if we find ourselves in desperate need. Alright, let's go ahead and hit the Consecrate here to start out. Then we will follow up for the extra mana. Flying Sleeves. Carve Reality to get the extra Smite. Let's go ahead and pop our energy potion, and we will go off with our smites. We got a defend out of it. 14 damage from the enemy in the front, 8 from the enemy in the back, so I do need to pop a Perseverance here. That puts us at 18. Let's go ahead and fire off the Miracle here for a smite on the enemy in the back. Looks like 4 damage taken, down to 37 health. Gonna go ahead and Consecrate once again. Let's go ahead and pop Vigilance here. And smite the enemy in the back. He has stolen my secret technique card. Let's go ahead and Sash Whip the enemy in the back. I would hit the enemy in the front, but he has an artifact that will prevent the debuff from being applied. Alright, let's go ahead and strike to take out the enemy in the back. That gives us our secret technique back. Let's go ahead and get some defense going. Empty Body will give us 2 mana also from Leaving Calm, plus 1 more from Violet Lotus. Alright, let's go ahead and pop Perseverance here. That gives us a full block. Now we can start laying in with some smites. Let's see what we have skill-wise still to draw. Unfortunately, Like Water is a power that would be my go-to otherwise. Let's go ahead and pull Prostrate Plus. That puts us into Divinity. Now we can start popping off with some big damage. I don't need to play these cards, but barring any other options, go ahead and get them out of my hand. 20 damage fully blocked. Alright, we've drawn some more smites into a follow-up. Go ahead and get like water on just in case I happen to go into calm. 51 damage. Let's go ahead and pop prostrate because it's free. I unfortunately did not draw anything to put me into calm. Empty body, that puts us at 30. Not a full block, but it'll definitely keep us alive. We are down to 16 health, and the enemy has stunned himself. Let's go ahead and follow up, and another follow up. Laying in with the big attacks, we have him down to 131 health. We have 16 remaining ourselves. 26 damage incoming here. Let's go ahead and Sash Whip into a Consecrate. Definitely need to play Perseverance here to survive. We will block the first strike, putting us down to 3 health after the second. We have re-entered Divinity here. And we should have enough to take him out. Fantastic. That takes us to the end of the boss fight and allows us to go on to the 3rd floor. Conjure Blade will give us an Expunger. Blasphemy will put us into Divinity but kill us. And Brilliance. 12 damage deals additional damage equal to mantra gained this combat. Yes, that is what we want. We've been stacking a lot of mantra. Double the effectiveness of potions. Obtain a unique curse and 3 relics. Gain mana at the start of your turn. You cannot play more than 6 cards in a turn, though. I'm torn between Sacred Bark and the Calling Bell. I think the Bell is going to be the better option here because of the 3 relics we're going to get. Unplayable, cannot be removed from the deck. Alright, we get to start with 1 strength at the start of each combat. Every time we play 3 attacks in a single turn, we'll get 1 strength also. And normal enemies will drop an additional card reward. Alright, into Act 3, back to full health. We have 139 gold, keeping an eye out for shops here. It's pretty much one across the middle of the board, regardless of which way you go. Could go far right or middle here. Alright, so far right is going to be the best option. There's a lot of question marks and a couple of fires there. Alright, let's go ahead and pop both our battle hymns. Prostrate for the mantra. And let's get some block going as well. This should be a full block here, with 1 block to spare. Nine damage coming from the enemy in the middle. Let's go ahead and channel some more mantra. Alright, we've taken out the enemy in the middle, giving ourselves 1 extra mantra, 1 extra card, and 1 extra mana. Let's go ahead and hit the enemy in the front here for 12 damage and 2 weak. So now next turn we don't have to worry so much about damage from him. Looks like he isn't planning to attack anyway. Let's go ahead and play Eruption here on the enemy in the front, putting us into Wrath. Now we can play a Strike, take him out. That gives us 1 extra mana to work with. Empty Body will take us out of our stance. Alright, so I could go ahead and play my secret weapon to pull a card here. Let's go ahead and pull Prostrate. Or would it be better to go into Vigilance? I think Vigilance this turn. I did not do the math correctly. Alright, let's go ahead here and play follow-up for the mana. We will take 7 damage for that, but that's fine. Perseverance. Gives us a free attack of no damage. And we are going to end here with the hand we have. Alright, we have entered Divinity. A follow-up will be enough to end it. However, Lesson Learned will upgrade a card. We've upgraded Brilliance. We get 2 card rewards now. Empty Fist, Just Lucky, and Fasting. Let's go ahead and pick up Just Lucky here. Normally I would go with Fasting, but we need all the mana we can get. I did not mean to do that. We have another Prostrate, Crushed Joints for damage invulnerable, and a Windmill Strike. Let's go ahead and pick up Windmill Strike. Going to proceed down the far right side here. Sensory Stone. Navigating through the beyond to discover a glowing tesseract, spinning and shifting gently in the air. You touch it. A sharp pain flows through you, followed by vivid flashes of a distant memory. Whose memories were these? A couple of options here to add cards to the deck. I'm going to go ahead and go with the first option because it does not cause me any harm. Another secret technique. Trip to apply 2 vulnerable, and Transmutation to get colorless cards into the hand. Let's go ahead and pick up another secret technique here. Fear. A demonic creature towers above you, wings spread wide as it howls with laughter. Dead bodies of a tribe surround you while the village is engulfed in terrible dark flames. The demon calls out, taunting you. You really are the strongest now. Ha 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 ha. This laughter echoes forever. Alright, into the next combat here. Alright, gonna go ahead and start out with both of our battle hymns as usual. We have Prostrate and 2 defends we can play. That will give us a full block here on the first turn. Alright, strength on the enemy is increased by 3, that puts him at 18. Let's go ahead and Prostrate once again here for more mantra and block. I'm going to go ahead and throw a fire potion at the enemy. And Just Lucky will give us some more block, as well as allowing us to see the next 4 cards that we have access to. I don't want to get rid of any of those, so we will simply hit continue. Alright, so let's go ahead and play our secret technique. We have 2 mana left to work with. Let's go ahead and get Vigilance. This time I have enough mana to actually play it. That puts us at 15 block, 3 damage incoming. Alright, so we should be able to enter Divinity this turn. Let's go ahead and play Prostrate here for the mantra. And now we can do 84 damage with Brilliance. That will end the fight. Let's go ahead and do that. Ambrosia. Enter Divinity. Very nice to have. We have draw 2 cards, exit your stance, gain 6 block, shuffle an insight into the draw pile, and Empty Fist for damage and exiting stance. Let's go ahead and pick that up. Oops. I keep forgetting that I get a second card now, thanks to that relic. Protest. Retain, gain 12 block, or to protect, not protest. Wheel Kick, deal 15 damage and draw 2 cards. And Pressure Points. Apply 11 mark, all enemies lose HP equal to their mark. Alright, let's go ahead and pick up Protect here, that might come in handy. Continuing down the right, we get 50 gold for this question mark room. Falling. As you head upwards, hopping from one floating shape to another, you slip. You begin to fall. While in free fall, you consider your options. Land safely with your greatest techniques, channel a power to survive the fall, or strike at the wall to hang on to it. So we can either lose Perseverance, like water, or Flying Sleeves. We have several Perseverances in the deck already, 2 of which are already upgraded. So let's go ahead and get rid of the unupgraded one. You land with extreme grace before continuing on. Into the next question mark here, another 50 gold. Tomb of Lord Redmask. A highly ornamented tomb can be seen on the other side of a floating path. Upon reaching the tomb, you notice a slot for gold coins with a scratched out inscription above it. We could lose all our gold to obtain the red mask, which will apply 1 week to all enemies at the start of combat. That is a very expensive option. If I had the red mask, I could get it for free, but I don't, so we will simply leave and move on to the next question mark. And we found a treasure room with a white beast statue. Potions always appear in combat rewards. Very nice. Into the next fire we go. We have a little bit of health to spare here. Let's go ahead and smith. Let's go ahead and upgrade Secret Techniques, the second one, so it now will no longer exhaust. The next question mark room will have us encounter a very tough regular enemy. Go ahead and pop both our battle hymns, as well as our vigilance for the block. And we will hold off on attacking for now. Down to 38 health after the attack from that enemy. Let's go ahead and play Empty Fist here. That will take us out of our stance, giving us 2 extra mana to work with. Consecrate. Each time I attack the enemy, I am changing his intent. I could hit him once again here, but that would cause me to enter Wrath, and I'd take increased damage from that. However, the purple swirl means he's going to put a curse in my deck that I cannot remove without losing health. Let's go ahead and play follow-up here to give ourselves some extra mana. Need to keep re-rolling here. $10 damage incoming. That I can handle. Let's go ahead and pop a defend here. Looks like we will only be taking 2 damage this time around. It's a shame I don't have the artifact that, or I'm sorry, the power that decreases the cost of cards you retain. Let's go ahead and get follow-up to go off. Into a Sash Whip for 2 weak. Alright, we have him down to 16 damage he's going to deal. Do I have a secret technique that is worth pulling? A skill card to be exact. I could pull Prostrate, or I could pull a regular Defend. However, I would have to pop a Miracle to use it. Let's go ahead and pull Prostrate. That gives us our Mantra and a little bit of block. Now I can pop a Miracle here to get Perseverance off. That'll reduce the incoming damage to 2. Up to 8 Mantra now. Let's go ahead and pop a Smite. Unfortunately, we got an unlucky roll there. It looks like he has now switched to 21 damage. That puts us down to 13 health. Alright, so we have him down to 27, essentially. Let's go ahead and pop a Consecrate here. We will pop a Prostrate. That will increase the damage of our Lesson Learned, taking him out and upgrading our Consecrate. We have another Consecrate here. We have Signature Move. Can only be played if this is the only attack in the hand. Deal 40 damage. At the end of your turn, shuffle an Insight into the draw. Let's go ahead and pick up a Consecrate here. A Worship. Gain 5 Mantra. Evaluate. Gain 10 block. Shuffle an Insight into the draw. And Crush Joints for Vulnerable. Let's go ahead and pick up and Evaluate here for the additional block card. And into the next treasure room. Every time you play 10 attacks, gain 1 mana. And unfortunately, we do have to rest in this fire here. That puts us up at 34 health. We are just below half. Alright, 3 enemies to contend with here. Let's go ahead and pop both our battle hymns. And we will go ahead and drink the skill potion here. Whatever we pick will cost 0, so we will get 2 applications of whatever we choose to play if we choose Omniscience. We could get Pray here for the 3 mantra, or Enter Wrath. Let's go ahead and pick Omniscience. We have 35 cards in the draw. Let's go ahead and play Omniscience, see what we can get. Okay, as far as options go, we have quite a few different options we could choose from here. As far as damage goes, it doesn't look like we have much to worry about. So I do want to try to prepare for the following turns. Let's go ahead and pop 2 Prostrates. That puts us at 7 Mantra. We'll go into Like Water here. And a Defend. That gives us a full block. And with any luck, we could go into Divinity on our next turn. And there it is. Our damage is now going to be tripled. Let's go ahead and pop both our Consecrates. Alright. No damage taken. We got an Entropic Brew. Fill all your potion slots with random potions. Follow-up. Already upgraded. Another follow-up. Study. At the end of your turn, shuffle an Insight into the draw. And Fear No Evil. Deal 11 damage. If the enemy intends to attack, enter Calm. Let's go ahead and pick that up. Cheap enough, already upgraded. Into the next question mark we go. Mind Bloom. While walking and traversing through the chaos of the Spire, your thoughts suddenly begin to feel very real. Imaginings of monsters and riches begin to manifest themselves into reality. The sensation is quickly fleeting. What do you do? We can upgrade all cards, but we can't heal anymore. Heal to full, but we would be cursed with doubt, or we could fight a boss from Act 1. We have 34 health at the moment. We could heal to full. All we would have to worry about is doubt. At the end of your turn, you get 1 week. That's not necessarily the end of the world. We have a shop coming up. Yeah, let's go ahead and just heal to full here. Can it really be this easy? Into the shop we go with 520 gold to work with. At the start of boss combats, heal 25 health. Normal enemy combats are no longer encountered in question mark rooms. Not that that will matter much for us. Whenever you change stances, gain 4 block, sure. Retain, enter calm, absolutely. Deal 10 damage and shuffle a Through Violence into the draw. Swift Strike for 7. Thinking ahead. Why not? Puts us down at 94. We can go ahead and use the card removal service to take a card out of the deck here. Let's go ahead and remove Doubt. into our next enemy combat here. Alright, this one isn't too bad. Simply need to keep up a consistent stream of damage to avoid his strength. Go ahead and follow up here into a strike. Easy enough. And our battle hymns will give us 2 smites automatically, so we can make use of those to whittle down his strength. Constantly increasing our strength by playing attacks each turn. Alright, we have a smite into a follow-up for extra mana. And we can hit with flying sleeves into a carve reality for an extra smite next turn. Simply need to last 2 more turns. Another follow-up here for more mana. And let's go in with some smites here. I'm gonna go ahead and pop Prostrate into Consecrate. We've gained 1 additional mana. Let's go ahead and pop Secret Technique, see what we can draw. We have another Prostrate here that we could play. I'm going to go ahead and pull Vigilance here. Pop our Miracle and enter Calm. 1 turn left to survive. 70 damage incoming here. Let's go ahead and pop all our damaging cards here. We have him down to 0 damage. And no damage taken once again. Liquid Memories. Choose a card from the discard and return it to your hand. It costs 0. Let's go ahead and get rid of the speed potion here in favor of Liquid Memories instead. Tranquility upgraded, Deceive Reality, and Crush Joints. Let's go ahead and get another Deceive Reality for an additional safety. Fear No Evil once again. Another way to enter Calm. Sure, why not? Alright, next fire here to upgrade. Let's go ahead and upgrade Deceive Reality for the additional block. Into the final boss of the base game. 20 damage, it looks like, incoming here. Let's go ahead and pop our battle hymns. Unfortunately, nothing to pair with my follow-up. Simply going to pop some block here. Took 8 damage there, and they've both powered up 3 additional strength. Big hit coming from the enemy in the back. Let's go ahead and play Deceive Reality for the block. And we will start attacking the enemy in the front here. Let me go ahead and pop our Miracle so we can get Flying Sleeves. That'll give us the additional strength. We'll have to take a big hit for it though, dropping down to 47 health. Alright, we do have access to our safety here as well as protect. However, I do need to make sure I'm doing damage at the very least. We've gained yet another strength. We are up to 3. Looks like we'll be taking 14 damage here, down to 33 health. Big hit incoming from the enemy in the back. Let's go ahead and drop some attacks here. Gives us 4 strength to work with. Let's go ahead and pop our protect here for 12. And we're going to go ahead and use Liquid Memories. We can go ahead and pull Protect back to give ourselves 24 block. That'll at least lessen the blow. Dropping down to 25 health now. I'm going to go ahead and pop Prostrate here. That will push us into Divinity, giving us additional mana to work with. Let's lay into the enemy in the front here. And a Carve Reality will take him out, giving us another strike and some more mana to work with. We have another Prostrate here. Let's go ahead and play that. That'll get us started on our next Divinity. Let's go ahead and play Evaluate here to shuffle the Insight into the draw. I'm going to go ahead and keep Tranquility for next turn, so we can enter Calm after we leave Divinity. Well, let's go ahead and play Vigilance. Actually, no. Vigilance will... I do need the block. You know, we have to. And then we will play Empty Fist. That gives us our mana back. Just lucky for the damage and block. Let's get our defend going. We can re-enter Calm with Tranquility. We've got 7 strength to work with now. Let's go ahead and pop our Ambrosia to enter Divinity stance, and our Entropic Brew. Alright, we got another Fairy in a bottle. It'll keep us alive a little longer. Alright, we've got the boss down to 37 health. I am down to 6. Alright, we've beaten the Tier 3 boss. A deep pulsing dread can be felt throughout the room. Is this the heart of the Spire? The source of this evil? You prime your staff with divine energy. You deal 649 damage. The heart squirms and bleeds, but is ultimately still pounding. Are your mightiest attacks not enough? You ask yourself, have I been here before? The heart pulses louder and louder as your consciousness begins to fade. A sudden burst of energy emanates from inside you, jolting you awake. The heart retreats upwards. A large door is revealed in its place. Let's approach the door and head on through with our key. Alright, let's hop into the bonfire here and upgrade a card. I definitely need to upgrade something that gives me block. That is my weak point at the moment. I can upgrade Protect to give me 16, but it would cost 2. I can upgrade Vigilance to do 12 block. I think that's the way to go. Into the shop we go with 70 gold. At the end of your turn, if you are in Calm, gain 5 block. Ooh, Vault. Take an extra turn after this one. Unfortunately, there are not as many cards that I can afford at the moment. I am going to go ahead and pick up Like Water here. We're going to try to stay in Calm as much as possible. Bottled Miracle. Add 2 miracles to the hand. I think that is better than the weak potion. Let's go ahead and get rid of that in favor of the miracles. Into the mini-boss. 1 on each side, so I will take increased damage from the one behind me. $10 damage from the enemy in the front, 18 from the one behind me. I believe the one in front of me will switch to 14 damage if I turn around. That is correct. So that is the better option. Let's go ahead and end turn here. Unfortunately, not a lot I can do as far as block goes. Down to 44 health already after the first turn here. Let's go ahead and hit the enemy behind us here with Just Lucky. That now reduces his damage down to 30. Alright, we are starting to build a little bit of strength. Let's go ahead and pop Thinking Ahead. Draws 2 cards for us. Empty Body, I definitely need to make sure we keep that. Let's go ahead and pop our Miracle here. I am going to go ahead and pop our Bottled Miracle, so we have access to those for next turn. I could have popped our Miracle here for Perseverance, but I want to save it for next turn, because I'm sure the damage is only going to go up. 51 now from the enemy behind us. Let's go ahead and pop our Miracles here. We're going to go ahead and use Smite to turn around. Down to 34 damage now. We can use our secret technique. We can pull a Deceive Reality. That puts us at 7 block. Pop our safety here to get to 19. And Perseverance puts us at 29. That is 5 damage we'll take here, putting us down to 22 health. 20 damage coming from the enemy behind us here. If the enemy intends to attack, enter Calm. Let's go ahead and do that. That puts us into Calm, and then we will follow up for 1 additional mana. And Prostrate to get us to 6 Mantra. I should have played Mental Fortress. I did not think about that, though. We've gained 1 additional strength here. Down to 12 health, and they are both attacking me from each side. Unfortunately, I don't think I will be able to survive this. We have 26 block. Nope, we will not survive this. We'll fully block the first attack, and the second will take us out. Ooh, very nice. Our potion saved us. We have so many Smite cards in the hand. But there is no escaping this time around. Let's go ahead and Smite to turn around. And Protect is more or less all I have access to at the moment. And we have fallen. Not quite the top. Alright, we've unlocked a few new cards. We have Spirit Shield, gain 3 block for each card in your hand. Wish, gain 6 plated armor, 3 strength, or 25 gold. And Foresight, at the start of your turn, scry 3. Alright, and that brings us to the end of today's playthrough. Thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to like and subscribe. It helps my channel out a lot. Or if you're interested in checking me out on Twitch, feel free to drop by and drop me a follow. I do stream 5 days a week, from Tuesday to Thursday, Saturday and Sunday, from 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. EST. If you miss me one day, don't fret. Feel free to drop in the next. Alright, until next time.